first day I was in your office when we were going to be working together, you said, I don't care about making more money. I care that people go from information to transformation. And I want people to actually take action. And I want people to get out of the rat race. Been fortunate enough to go back and forth, and you've been helping mentor us for so long. And you keep on saying, well, Josh, you are in the rat race. You're self-employed. How are you going to go from self-employed to the B and to the I quadrant? And so that is my question for you, Robert. How can young people today, knowing the situation that we're in, go from self-employed or employee to B to I?
Was the question, what does God want done? God wants you to ask those questions. So anyway, this is the whole Genesis. It's always the evolution. This here's a financial statement. This is the basis of financial literacy. Income, expense, assets, liabilities. They don't teach this in school. So this was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's all I did. Financial literacy is what's the definition of a word? What's an income? What's an expense? Asset, liability. But more important, this here was Poor Dad. All he cared about was his income. What the rich care about is the balance sheet. And so the object of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, what school teachers focus on here, to what the rich focus on here. I'll just say this much, when I was flunking out of high school because I can't write, and my poor dad was upset because he was a superintendent of education for Hawaii. Smart guy, Stanford, University of Chicago, Northwestern University. I'm flunking out of high school because I can't write. He says, that's right, son, you'll be a laborer for the rest of your life. And my rich dad said to me, he's my best friend's father, he says, Robert, my banker's never asked me for my report card yet. I said, what? My banker doesn't care if I had good grades or not, because Rich Dad never finished school, because his father died when he was 13. He took over the family business. He says, this is what your banker wants to see. So with that, I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, because this is your report card when you leave school. This is what your banker wants to see. And I would easily say 99% of all students your age have never seen one of these. And so there's no financial literacy in school. So this is book number 1. This is what you're talking about here is book number 2. So E stands for employee, S stands for small business or self-employed. B stands for big business, but B is more than just big business. It's a brand, like Tesla's a brand, Apple is a brand. And I stands for insider. So what happens, people go to school to get a job, or if they're smart, S stands for smart, like you guys are very skillful, you become self-employed. Trouble is you get trapped here. And how do you get over to here? That's your question. Because they're completely different people. I meet so many people, they always say the same words. I'm looking for a safe, secure job with benefits. What this person is saying, I want to do it by myself. I'm the best, I want to do it by myself. The B is always saying, I'm looking for the best team. And the I is looking for, I just want to be inside the deal. See, these guys, when they invest from the outside. And my rich dad says, you want to invest from the inside. A guy like Warren Buffett invests from the inside. Another thing about Warren Buffett, he only invests in brands. Buffett would never invest in these guys here. So as a young man, I knew then that I wanted to come over here. So your question is, you guys are here now, you and PJ are here. How do you get over here? Okay. Mm-hmm. This is book number 3. This is Rich Dad's Guide to Investing, where this one comes from. And this is the BI triangle. You see the B and the I. Business is a team sport. So you guys are so competent, you can do it by yourselves. I can't do what you do. I can't do very much at all. So when I put together a business, this is called the BI triangle. On that side is this here. So an E and an S fill in here. There's a product, I have product designers. So you guys are developing my product for me right now. Legal is the attorney. It's not gonna protect it. So when I write a book or I buy a property, there's gotta be an attorney involved. Systems are the system, like the human body is a system of systems, air and lungs and blood and all that. A car is a system of systems. So a B and the I is putting systems together. Communications are the marketing. Sales equal income, so there's sales and marketing. And the bottom line here is cash flow. This is your accountants. And then what holds it together is, I got this from military school. First lesson I learned at military school is what's my mission? Next is who's your team and who's the leader. So I went to military school in New York. First thing is mission. You put together a group of 20 guys and you gotta say, section 10, and you learn to lead. So military school teaches the outside here, and traditional schools teach you to be inside here. So a product designer here, an attorney here, engineers here, marketing guys here. For you guys, you have to ask yourself, what's your product? Right now, you're building a product for me. I can't do what you do. You build a product, then it's got to be legal. If it's not legal, you don't own it. Somebody's going to steal it from you. The system is this. There's YouTube, get things out in. But like with me, my books go out through bookstores. So that's a system. Also goes through Amazon, which is a system. And then communications is the marketing, which you guys help me on. And then my cash flow drops here. And inside here, I've got to figure out how to protect it from taxes. And that's where you work with Kenny McElroy. Kenny McElroy and real estate guys, like Donald Trump, he's a real estate guy. We don't pay taxes legally, but then that's here too. For you guys, as young as you are, you're now saying, well, where's my team? What's my mission? That's where we're saying, what does God want done? That's the question. That's your mission. And then can you guys lead a team? And then these things start to fall in. So you guys are already good at producing product, but how do you turn it into an asset? Without the legal, it's not an asset. Like if I write a book, but it's not copyrighted, it's not an asset. I can build a piece of real estate, but if it don't have boundaries and stuff, it's not an asset. So the legal makes it, the product, an asset. And it goes down here. So I had to study all of this with my rich dad.
What's funny is right when I started working with you, I was having some legal problems with a different person that I was working with that I thought was a big deal. And then you told me that is nothing. I had a legal problem that cost me $30 million. And I said, well, I guess I learned a very cheap lesson, much more expensive.
Yeah, it's still a lesson.
Yeah.
And then there's another saying that goes, you kiss a lot of frogs to find a princess. And so in here, I've gone through so many different attorneys because most attorneys are crooks. They're terrible people. If they can cheat you, their mind goes, well, he didn't see it, so I'm not going to tell him. So I've been cheated by my attorneys more than anybody else. And I see them around town here in Phoenix. It's upstate. They're a bunch of crooks. They stole a lot of stuff from me legally because I just didn't know. So you have to have an attorney. One of the first things is who's your attorney that's going to advise you, but you got to find an honest one. And when you find them, they're great. I have a whole slew of attorneys, and I trust them with my life.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So what you're doing here is you're putting your team together. Business is a team sport. This is a team sport. This is you do it in yourself. So these guys are like golfers. Golfers play the game by themselves. This here is like a rugby team or a football team. And so the being is different. Like there's some people who can only play golf. They've never played on a team. And so you're looking for somebody, you can ask them, what's your favorite sport? If you say golf, look for somebody else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you want somebody who wants to play on a team.
One of the most impactful things that you've said is that, young people today are always trying to think, what do I want to do and what's my passion? Yeah. But that's the wrong question. What is the right question that people should be asking themselves?
What does God want done? What does God want done is your mission. It's been a long process. It wasn't instantaneous. So what's my mission? I said, well, there's no financial education. So I said, well, God might want me to teach. I was going, well, who am I to teach? I'm not Warren Buffett. I'm not Donald Trump. I'm just a little guy who understands real estate. But what does God want done? God wants somebody to teach people because our schools are never going to teach us this. So that became the mission. The mission of the Rich Dad Company is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity. And the way we did it was we have a product called a book. It's copyrighted trademark. It's put into different languages, and it pumped through bookstores like Amazon and Borders bookstores and all that. And that's where the cash drops here. And on this side of it, where Kenny, who you work with, I have to invest my cash flow in property. If I don't invest it in property, I pay tax. So there's so much to learn here. But this was book number 3. It's called Rich Dad's Guide to Investing. This is where you guys are at right now. You guys are already developing product. The question is, how do you legalize it so that you own it? Then how's the system of delivery, like YouTube's good system of delivery?
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you. You guys are on your way.
Thank you.
So if you want to find out the top 3 things that school should have taught you about money, and 3 is light, man. They don't teach you anything. But the top 3 things the school did not teach you about money, please watch the next videos.